Hello, it's the first full week of meteorological winter and the weather's going to be suitably mixed, switching from cold and frosty to wet and windy. The bigger picture shows high pressure near to the UK, at least to start with, but out in the Atlantic things are brewing up. A strengthening jet stream, that fast-moving ribbon of air high up in the atmosphere, and that is going to power towards the UK, spinning up areas of low pressure as it does so, and they will whiz across the country, bringing short, sharp spells of wet and windy weather. One Tuesday, one Thursday, and then this one developing could bring us some very lively weather into the weekend. More on that in just a second. First, let's rewind the clock and go through the week day by day, starting with Tuesday, when the skinny area of high pressure is still holding on, bringing many a cold and frosty start. Certainly across northern Britain, temperatures could be in negative double figures across parts of Scotland. By and large, a fine day across many eastern areas, steadily clouding over further west. A few showers in the far southwest late on, but for many it will be a dry day until we see this band of rain coming into Northern Ireland and parts of Scotland. Not just rain here, however. As it bumps into the cold air, we could certainly see some snow coming in, mostly over the hills. The cold air will still be in place and temperatures will be struggling across Scotland to get much above 3 or 4 degrees Celsius, and elsewhere as well we're looking at single figures for most, maybe double digits in the southwest late on. But with the cold air and this wet weather bumping into it, we could see a bit more snow through Tuesday evening. Something to watch for sure, because although the snow is mostly likely over hills, even at lower levels there could be a covering for a time as that all moves through into southern Scotland and then down into northern England. Again, some snow possible over the Pennines, and as it clears away it could turn icy. So there's that weather front that is moving its way through. If we pull out and look at the bigger picture, you can see an area of low pressure developing. That's going to come in during Wednesday, but will mostly be between these weather systems on Wednesday. So for many, much of the day will be dry. Colder air returns, so a frosty start, potentially icy, where we've had that wet and wintry weather during Tuesday. But by and large, a fine day. Hazy sunshine in the east, clouding over in the west as that next weather system comes in. So it's a similar day for Northern Ireland. Starts dry, turns wet, but on Wednesday I think we'll see a bit more of that rain further south. So parts of West Wales, southwest England also turning soggy by the end of the day. Again, for many in central and eastern parts, single-digit temperatures, but further west, the rain is going to be bringing in some milder air as well as a strengthening wind, and that's something we'll need to keep an eye on, the gusty conditions as this area of low pressure and this weather front swings through, the isobars pinching together. So a blustery night Wednesday night and into Thursday, and a wet one for many as that cold front clears through. Then there's another weather system following hot on the heels. Again, the isobars pinching together there, suggesting some strong winds. So wet and windy first thing on Wednesday. Across East Anglia in the southeast, that scoots through, and then this next weather system comes in pretty rapidly, and that'll throw a lot of showers in across the country, bringing milder air, so temperatures, particularly where it brightens up between the showers, getting up into the teens perhaps, but feeling cooler with the winds, which could get very lively around some western coasts, around the centre of the low. You can see it there swirling. So very blustery conditions, gusty with a mixture of sunshine and showers, but it will be that much milder. Then for Friday, we're kind of between two weather systems, watching this one developing out in the Atlantic, but a little ridge ahead of that promises many a fine day. That weather system won't have completely pulled away Friday morning, still generating some showers down the eastern sides. A chilly start, but again, for a good part of the country, most of the day dry and fine with weak winter sunshine. Temperatures mostly getting into double figures for England, Wales and Northern Ireland, still single digits across parts of Scotland, but that next weather system perhaps already into parts of the west by the end of Friday. We do need to watch this because it's developing as we go through Friday night into quite a deep area of low pressure. Now this is still 5 days away. It could be further north, it could be further south. It could be less intense, it could be more intense, but certainly strong signals of a wet and windy spell across the country on Saturday. Something we'll be keeping a very close eye on, and you should keep up to date with the forecast over the next few days, particularly if you do have plans on Saturday as this area of low pressure starts to move towards us. More details, as always, if you follow us on social media. If you're watching this on YouTube, you should hit subscribe.